Hi, it's been a long time since I did a video, and I just wanted to come and talk to you a little bit about this year. I guess I haven't really felt like doing videos in a long time, just because I always feel like if I'm going to do a video, I'm not just going to do a video for the sake of it. I want to do it for a reason and something that's going to actually help, and something, something of substance to share with you. I don't just want to do them just because everyone's doing them. But I thought it was really important to come and share something that I've been dealing with this year. It's a bit difficult for me to talk about, so bear with me. Take some deep breaths. But yeah, I have this year been dealing, I think I've always sort of struggled with high functioning depression and anxiety all my life, but in particular it has been a big problem for me this year. In the past years, I think it's been more low functioning, because you can see that I'm feeling low. I think it'll be quite obvious because I'll be sad, I'll be crying, or, in kind of previous times. But this year it's really switched on itself, and instead of showing obvious signs of depression, I've been kind of achieving everything, achieving things. I went on this morning, I've been in a magazine, and I've managed to do events and all those kind of things. But on the surface of it all, or beneath it all, sorry, I've been really sad and not coping. And I don't want to get sad, but it's been really hard. And I just wanted to be honest and to share that with you, because I think it's really important to be honest about how hard it is to deal with doing everything every day when you feel really sad underneath. And I'm fortunate in the fact that I can really help myself, because I know a lot about self-care, and that's the funniest thing about me, because I help people. I work with children, I work with them directly, I work with people, I coach. But everybody knows how easy it is to dish out advice and support to everybody else, and it's much harder to do it for yourself. So that is the thing that I guess I struggle with. However, I'm getting so much better at it this year. This year has shown me so much more about self-care, and how important it is to look after myself, and how important it is to be genuinely honest about who I am and how I feel. I think in past years I've been, past years literally, I've been such a people pleaser, and worried about what everybody thinks, and I must do this because this is what's going on, and everything like that, and bowing to pressures of what people ask of me. Whereas this year I've been very much like, no, I'm just not doing it. I just don't have the time. I just don't want to. It doesn't resonate with my gut instinct or my heart, and it's been so much better for me in that way. So I have learned a lot through this experience, because I knew I had to put myself first. If I hadn't, I would have absolutely crumbled at some point this year, and it wouldn't have been good. So I've learned a lot about my own needs, and I just wanted to share that high functioning depression and anxiety is quite it goes past a lot of people. They wouldn't even know you're dealing with it, because you're doing so much. You seem happy, you go out and you socialize, and you might even be the life and soul of the party, and at some points. But beneath it all, when you're on your own, that is when you're consumed with your own thoughts and sadness, and you get the intrusive thoughts that come in and say negative things to you, irrational things that, there are things that I've learnt to kind of back those things off. For example, when I have a really negative thought or a really irrational thought, I will say, in my mind, I'll be like, I disagree. I don't agree with that. It's not the truth. And that's how I bat away negative, bad thoughts, so they don't kind of seep in and stay with me. But it's been a really interesting year, and I apologise if the video is all over the place, because I'm literally just sharing as it's coming because I didn't want it to be all very rigid and structured, because that's not how I am. And yeah, it's just been a big learning curve for me. And I think, again, the hardest thing about high functioning depression and anxiety is the fact that people just can't spot it. And I guess in some ways that's quite scary, because that's the thing. People, when you see that people have, unfortunately, taken their lives because of depression and things like that. And you hear people say, well, they were so happy, they seemed fine. And that's the thing with high functioning depression and anxiety, or high functioning mental illness. You can seem fine. It'll go past most people, because you are functioning, you are getting up, you are living, you are on Facebook, you're on social media, you are functioning like most people. It's just when you are alone. And sometimes people will notice. So, for example, when I'm around my friends, someone will say something, and my reaction will be quite, it wouldn't be negative. It'll just be very, yeah, great. And they'll notice, because there's no enthusiasm to my reaction. Whereas the Natasha without that would be like, oh, wow, that's amazing. And it would really, you'd be able to feel it. And, they know who I am to the most extent. So they will be like, that wasn't real, that wasn't genuine. And that's how some people can spot it. And for example, it was my birthday a week ago today, actually, and I enjoyed my birthday. It was really good, but I actually cried a lot through my birthday, because I was happy. I'd done some lovely things. I spent the morning with one of my good friends. I spent the evening with a bunch of my good friends, but I spent a lot of time just crying, because I put a lot of pressure on myself. And that's the other thing about high functioning depression. We put so much pressure on ourselves, and that is why we function so highly as well, because we're like, we've got to do this, otherwise we'll feel even worse. And I remember one of my friends were like, why do you seem so sad? Why are you, crying? And I actually said, I don't know. I actually don't know. I just feel really sad. I'm grateful that everyone's here. I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for all the presents. I'm grateful for all the love and the messages, but I just feel really sad underneath it all. And that is the issue with high functioning depression. You can't explain the sadness. And obviously there is a reason for it. And I know my reason for it, because it's been a really hard year. Despite the things that I've achieved, I lost my big brother Omar at the start of the year. So that was like the catalyst. And then lots of different things happened. I got into some situations that weren't good for me, and it took me a while to take myself out of those situations by realizing my worth. And it takes a while, to do that. It takes a while for you to build up the strength to realize it. And the one thing that I want anyone to know, whether you have a mental illness or not, is to remember that you are worth it, and that you always have been. And that is one of the things I say to myself really often when I start to beat myself up, or I start to see my mood creeping lower, is that I am worth the effort, and I always have been. No matter what any situation makes you feel like. And it's so important that you look at yourself for that reassurance, because if you look at other people for it, it's never going to be genuine, it's never going to be real, and you're never going to be able to hold on to it. So if I can share anything with you about this journey this year, is that you must work on self-approval, self-love, self-care. You know, I'm lucky, you know, I write on self-care. I've got a book on self-care, so I have a really good self-care routine, and when I know that I'm feeling low, I know what to do for myself. That doesn't mean that I won't have days where I feel really sad and that everything gets to me. It's just that I know what to do when that happens. So if I can say anything, it's to remember that you are worth your effort. You really are. You are worth taking yourself out for the day. You are worth doing that nice thing for yourself. You are worth that cake if you want to eat it. You know, you are so much more worth than the horrible things that might have happened to you, or the things that didn't happen for you, the things that you know you didn't achieve. Remember that everything happens for a reason, and nothing that is meant for you will ever pass you. So hold on to that for when things don't work out the way you want them to be. It's really hard to not let things get to you, especially as a high functioning depressive, because we tend to hold on to things longer than we should. So if something goes wrong or something didn't happen the way we want it to, we hold on to it longer than we should, because we're just like, no, it must work out. We don't like failure, I guess, or we don't like things not to work out, because we want to have achieved that thing. And that's one of the things that I have worked really hard on this year, and I hope will get better as time goes along. And I just wanted to be really honest about how high functioning depression can affect somebody, and just remember that there is support out there. Talk to your doctor, talk to your friends, join a support group. Just make sure that you have a support network. And if you are someone that feels like that you don't have a support network, Free Your Mind has an online support group, and it's on you can get to it via our website, www.freeyourmindcic.com. And I just wanted to put that out there just in case anyone's watching this and they're like, well, I don't have anyone. And in that group, we have counsellors, other people with lived experience, and I often use it myself, so you might see me in there having a rant. But I am lucky to have some really good friends who have patience and understanding, and even if they don't understand it, they'll at least try. So that's another thing. The other thing I wanted to share is obviously, well, not obviously actually, but with me, another thing is that I don't really like talking on the phone, and I get people that constantly trying to push me in that area, and they feel pushed away by that because it's something that I don't like to do, so they take it personally when it actually has nothing to do with them. It just drives anxiety in me. I can't concentrate on the call. And I just want to say to anyone that knows me that has noticed that it's nothing about you, and it's more about me. And again, everything that I know I'm going through, I'm working on. I'm very self-aware, probably too self-depreciating, but again, it's everything that I'm working on. And again, and anyone that's going through the same thing, just say to them, I'm a work in progress. Nobody is perfect. And you are doing the best you can. You are absolutely doing the best you can. I will share some information about high functioning depression and anxiety for anyone who wants to read up on it more, about the signs and the other things like that. Before I go, another sign I think where you are kind of doing things that maybe aren't so good for you, so you might end up like drinking more, substance abuse. I mean, luckily there hasn't been an issue for me. I have found that I've probably been drinking socially a bit more, but not really at home, so that's not really an issue, thank God. But you know, just look out for the signs, look out for the symptoms, and make sure you get help and support. Do not suffer with this in silence, because it is absolutely horrible, because most people won't notice, and they'll think that you're okay, or they might think that you're being dramatic or playing victim. And also, if you know someone who's going through something like this, please don't say things like, choose to be happy. I choose to be happy, because honestly, anyone dealing with depression, whether it's low functioning or high functioning, they wish that they could just choose to be happy. I honestly, and I'm one of those people that when I'm in a good place, those things can resonate with me because I am in a good place, it makes sense. But when I'm not, just choosing to be happy is just not an option. It just doesn't work like that. It's one of those things where you have to do some self-care, you have to take some time out, you have to look after yourself, and your mood starts to improve gradually, and then those type of things will resonate with you. So please don't say throwaway comments like cheer up, chin up, it'll get better, choose to be happy, because it just doesn't work like that. It's much more deeper than that. So just, you know, if anything, just encourage them and say, I'm sorry you're feeling this way. If there's anything I can do, let me know. You know, just offer them supportive words and let them know that you are there. But please don't do the throwaway things, because it just doesn't work like that. And yeah, I've been talking for a while now, and I just hope it has helped, and I hope that you've learned a little bit more about me and what's been going on with me, and a bit more about high functioning depression. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I'm going to try and do videos a lot more regularly, and let me know if there's anything that you'd like me to do a video on, or if there's anything more about this that you'd like me to talk about in the comments. So yeah, I hope it has helped, and I hope you've learned a little bit more about high functioning depression and anxiety. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.